You're watching Camnet TV, not just another channel. Welcome to our news. The headlines. Police in MWINILUNGA shoot dead a 17-year-old boy. Home Affairs Minister clarifies on the online voter registration. PF youths unsettled by MUMBA'S rigging statement. In international news, several killed in attack on security convoy in northeast Nigeria. And in sports news, BMG sponsored golf tournament unveils new talent. For the details, join me shortly after this break.
Msika is here. We have you all covered with just 150 kwacha. You can advertise every day from 17 hours to 18 hours. For a 30-second ad, get the benefit of selling your products and services on Msika. For more details, call our marketing department on +260 953 995099 +260 962 444-726 or +260 971 177 467. Email us on info@camnettvafrica.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you a filmmaker? Well, you are exactly what we are looking for.
Camnet TV is calling on local filmmakers. For more details,
you can visit our headquarters in Ibex Hill, next to Hilltop Hospital.
Contact us on
0962 444 726. Camnet TV.
Not just another channel.
Stipulated time as guided by President Edgar Lungu. In the process of the fight, one man identified as Timothy Zulu was shot dead. Mother to the deceased, Eunice Zulu, has since demanded for justice over her son's death. We have details in this report.
It was quite a Sunday morning when residents of Lusaka's Kamanga compound fought running battles with officers. The residents rioted after a police reserve officer shot dead a 22-year-old man in the area. An operation which started like a normal routine of closing down bars and nightclubs operating beyond stipulated hours has led to the death of Timothy Zulu. According to the information obtained on the ground, when police reserve and neighborhood watch officers went to close down the said nightclub, a confusion rose between officers and patrons, and in the process, Timothy Zulu was killed. This development, however, angered the residents, who resulted in storming the police post and destroying almost everything at Kamanga Police Post. The residents have also accused officers of being corrupt and asking for sexual favors every time a female offender is arrested.
You can't give a gun to someone who has not gone for training, and those people, they don't know the rules of the policemen. Instead, they just shoot, which is a very bad thing. So please, we beg that at least you help us. These policemen that are here are not working well.
Meanwhile, the deceased family is seeking for justice. Mother to the deceased disclosed to Camnet TV that Timothy was her firstborn child who was doing his grade 9 and used to play football.
nabwera bakapukula nakuyamba kupisha bantu mukati kuchuchunganya bantu kuti basalangane manje baende kuti panje baimbe kwagwira mashishita manje so mwamene anamba kusalanganisira bantu muja mukati ndiye mwamene tinachokera ndiye mwamene tinambira kuthawa so inayi natawira kwanga naye mzake kwake naye winango kwake pamene zalira futi sinaze kuti futi yalira pa yandani tonse tasalangana chabe taenda so pamene timvera kuti ochongo kwa mulangati wapa ya muntu ndiye kapena kuti wamena muziwa yeye pamene naye ati ndiye pamene abwera ku nyumba kwao kambati munzako amupa yatimu ndiye mwamene achamangira kuenda kuchikolo
funikira pano pa nyumba vose bagule bachita palibe mungu kuseneza pano wise wali kukaza so bagule bakuchita amene bachita ichi vose bagule basevunye bize pano pa nyumba bantu bali
amene bakapokola makadira manja bakapokola without protection CONVOY ndiye batipaya tizankala tibwanje
kutamkukuza mukali kuku mwana wanga ine mama
kudandaula kwamene bali
The riot started around 01 hours and continued till morning, with officers discharging tear gas canisters in order to control the unruly mob. However, police, through its public relations officer, Esther Katongo, have appealed to residents to remain calm as investigation continues in the case. Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News in Lusaka.
And in MWINILUNGA district of Northwestern Province, police on Friday shot dead a 17-year-old boy following riots which rocked the district. The fight erupted when a non-patriotic Front PF cadre and a businessman of the area beat up one of his workers on account that he stole some alcohol from his shop. It is reported that after beating him so badly, he handed him
I have used Oracle Pure Glycerin for 2 years now. It has really worked for me. It has cleared all the black spots on my face. It has restored my skin beauty. It also smoothens the skin. Try Oracle Pure Glycerin for perfect skin. If it's not Oracle Glycerin, then it's not Pure Glycerin.
Are you a filmmaker? Well, you are exactly what we are looking for.
Camnet TV is calling on local filmmakers. For more details,
You can visit our headquarters in Ibex Hill, next to Hilltop Hospital,
contact us on
0962 444 726. Camnet TV.
not just another channel. Msika is here. We have you all covered with just 150 kwacha. You can advertise every day from 17 hours to 18 hours. For a 30-second ad, get the benefit of selling your products and services on Msika. For more details, call our marketing department on +260 953 995099 +260 962 444 726 or +260 971 177 467. Email us on info@camnettvafrica.com. Terms and conditions apply.
We sincerely apologize for that break in sound. However, we continue with the news. In MWINILUNGA district of Northwestern Province, police on Saturday shot dead a 17-year-old boy following riots which rocked the district. The fight erupted when a non-patriotic front PF cadre and a businessman of the area beat up one of his workers on account that he stole some alcohol from his shop. It is reported that after beating him so badly, he handed him to the police where he was locked up in the cells, but the residents were shocked to find the body of the same person lying dead by the roadside near the MWINILUNGA police station. Considering that the MWINILUNGA hospital mortuary has not been functioning for months now, bodies are either buried the same day or the following day, and the residents opted to bury the body within a short space of time. Family members opted to carry the body of their deceased relative on their shoulders from the mortuary to Kawiku Burial Cemetery, but police moved in to stop the procession which sparked the fights. A lodge belonging to the PF cadre and his wholesale shops have been looted beyond recognition. Home Affairs Minister Stephen Kampyongo has clarified on the ongoing pre-online voter registration exercise. Mr. Kampyongo explains that the process only involves submitting of a person's particulars to the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, adding that at a later stage, Zambians will be required to physically be attended to by the Commission. He states that it will be at this point when an eligible Zambian will be issued with a voter's card. Mr. Kampyongo says the world has gone digital and Zambia must take advantage of technology in dealing with certain issues. The Home Affairs Minister was speaking in Lusaka's Matero compound when he attended a church service at the Reformed Church of Zambia. The pre-online voter registration has come under fire from most Zambians, accusing the Commission of wanting to use the process to rig the 2021 general elections in favor of the ruling Patriotic Front PF.
Register online, it's just pre-registration. Wakaboloyamba exercise yole mpesa ija muzafurika kuyenda futhi ku ECZ noendo chakwanji wakakutengeni manje ma print nokupasani kadi ya nyowa. So ijamena wakamba kuti online registration ni kuchita chape play kama details in advance. When they start registration, you still have to go and verify your details and get your biometric details taken. We are in the digital world. Even in us who are issuing NRCs, you will see very soon after elections, we shall be going digital in terms of citizen identification, and the IDs that we should have been given to our citizens will change because we have gone the smart way. So just to supplement what the Senior Reverend stated, you have to utilize the online platforms to send your details to Electoral Commission of Zambia, which details you shall come to verify later and get your voters cards at that point. Then you'll be ready to come and participate it's important to participate in governance of the nation. Not kudada unachapia sina kuteko ndio wabeno wanapotela watu. Ila ibadizeni. Unachita pachani. Ila ile zinafuna wewe kupota kichani zile zofuna chake. Osa kandaula. That's when zofuna to participate. I want to say it's been a wonderful
Meanwhile, the Socialist Party has charged that online voter pre-registration exercise, which started on the 21st of September 2020 by the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, has not come at the right time and is likely to disadvantage a lot of eligible voters from exercising their constitutional right to vote. Socialist Party Copperbelt Provincial Spokesperson Joseph Kangwa wonders why ECZ is in a hurry to undertake this exercise when it has not adequately sensitized Zambians on this process so as not to leave anyone behind. Mr. Kangwa has since joined calls for ECZ to consider the people from rural areas and those without smartphones by finding ways of enabling them to access online voter pre-registration. The online pre-voter registration was rolled out last week. However, all online registered voters will be required to physically collect their voters' cards at an opportune time.
2021 general elections, millions of despairing Zambian people composed of the unemployed youth, students, miners, farmers, men and women, the victims of poverty and miserable life in which they have been forced to live by the patriotic front government, will have a genuine choice. They will have a choice of change that will determine their fates, the future of their children, and that of this country. In 2021, Zambians have a choice of voting against high meal prices, frequent road shedding, depreciation of the kwacha, joblessness, anger, poverty, and despair. The online voter pre-registration exercise, which was started on 21st September by the Electoral Commission of Zambia, has not come at the right time and is likely to disadvantage a lot of eligible voters from exercising their constitutional right to vote. One wonders why the ECZ is in a hurry to undertake this exercise when it has not done its work of preparing and making sure that no one is left behind. The ECZ should have waited until it had done more sensitization and education work among our poor Zambian people, until it had found the means to make sure that our brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers in remote rural areas where there is no internet could participate without any difficulties. The ECZ's decision leaves the burden of online registration to our poor citizens by not employing young folks to go around the country to help do the online registration.
Lusaka Province PF Youth Chairperson Daniel Kalembe has charged that allegations made by Movement for Multi-Party Democracy MMD leader Neves Mumba are very grave and will not go by. Mr. Kalembe has since challenged Dr. Mumba to provide proof of his allegations or face them. According to Mr. Kalembe, Dr. Mumba's statement has the potential of creating anarchy in the country. He has warned that all those issuing careless statements against the PF will not be spared. The Zambia Police Service and the Electoral Commission of Zambia have both summoned Dr. Mumba over his allegations made that the PF working with ECZ excessively rigged the recently held by-elections.
Ono neshu inadimbyo ndefo kumyebe misepela. Moneni ba opposition. By opposition inabe mapasweka to promote anarchy in this country. Na tumona ma statement oyo balelanda. Aya kuchita provoke innocent Zambians to rise against this government. because they have seen ukwebati ba president wesu n'ababombo mulimo usuma and n'abeshibo kwebati next year 2021 barerusa ama election. Icho tabakwete fya kuchita. Now they want to incite many Zambians to rise against government. Kanshi tabakwanishe maneva simumba tatuabareke parira statement balandire kano balande chinka gachachine filofo bayito kubani baka pepa ni ba bishop na ngula ni ba pastor tulefo ya balondo lolocho bayishibe pali rigging ya kurukasha pera fyama political statement aya perela just to provoke Zambians tatuabareke. If it you mean to demonstrate, we'll demonstrate. And you bakale defshin kapatebo. Pantutu arishvefyo ba ICZ bari ba independent. Kwali ba ma elections oko turusa ifwe ba PF. Nani elari to achitapo accuse uko bachita accuse. We only concede defeat and congratulate the winners. Bantu baneva simumba bali rusa na kutuma political party utu nono. Utu afierwe mailo. Bali rusa.
Meanwhile, National Democratic Congress NDC President Chishimba Kambwili, who is set to address the nation Monday morning, is shocked to learn that the Zambia Police Service is summoning a citizen who has issued an honest opinion on a national matter. He has also wondered where political party cadres are getting powers to threaten people, and yet the same police never summoned them for inciting violence. Among other issues Mr. Kambwili is expected to touch on include Friday's budget presentation, the ongoing voter registration and issuance of NRCs, and government's plea to defer its loan repayments.
I want to discuss the issue of the police summoning President Nevas Mumba. This is intimidation of the opposition and must not be tolerated. Since when did the ECZ and the police start summoning people for their opinion in as far as election rigging is concerned?
About 7,000 people whose livelihood is dependent on the Magoye River in Chief Mwana Chingwala's area in Mazabuka district of Southern Province have been severely affected by the drying up of the river. The Magoye River has dried up as a result of illegal human activities, mostly sand mining, causing siltation and blockage upstream, fish blocking and cutting down of trees, among other activities. Water Development, Sanitation and Environmental Protection Minister Jonas Chanda, who was accompanied by Worldwide Fund for Nature WWF Zambia Country Director Nachilala Nkombo and Mazabuka District Commissioner Jane Chira, inspected the dried up river, which has resulted in people and livestock lacking drinking water and the disappearance of fishing and farming activities. Dr. Chanda has explained that illegal human activities on the Magoye and other rivers and water bodies across the country need urgent protection through a statutory instrument based on the Water Resources Management Authority Act of 2021. He says this is why he has directed the Water Resources Management Authority WAMA to urgently review all water permits on rivers, dams and water bodies across the country to prevent over obstruction of water and ensure equitable access to water for all. The minister has since assured the affected people in Chief Mwana Chingwala's area that government through the ministry is ready to supplement efforts by Solidaridad, an international non-governmental organization from Sweden, in restoring the Magoye River back to life.
Wama, with your team, give us a comprehensive report. I need it on my desk by Monday. You know, it has to be on my desk. This is an emergency, you know, because I don't know what will happen. Maybe one day we'll wake up in Zambia, because, you know, in Southern Africa, where the country that is endowed with water, more than any other country, but now we are not taking care of our rivers. So this river will be gone, Mukushi will be gone one day, because it's feeding into Kafue River. Kafue I mean, then curfew will be gone. Imagine all the ecosystems that were here, because once upon a time there could be fish, there could be all that, all dead, you know. So I think even the water permits have to be reviewed, you know. Water has to flow. That is a priority. Yeah, so whatever is happening upstream, whoever has dams, we have to make sure that water flows at the minimum. And if you have given the excess water permits, they have to be reviewed and cancelled, or else you reduce the amount of water that they are holding up there. Because I can imagine people who are downstream here, maybe people who have livestock or farming or whatever, all their lives are destroyed. When we say human activity is destroying rivers, causing climate change, this is the evidence. We don't even need any other evidence. So if you are doing sand mining there, the situation is coming here. Trees are falling, the logs are coming. You can see all these logs wow here. They are coming from that far. So human activity has destroyed the river. And there's also a here, what you are saying, fish, people doing fish trapping. You know, there's another human activity called fish trapping, where people are diverting water from the river to catch some certain fish, and then the flow of the water is reduced. You know, so now here you have a buried river. The river is buried basically, so you have to recreate a river, and this is uncontrolled human activity. It will be very disastrous. So this should have been prevented. It's a very preventable and avoidable situation. So we need now to be more in a preventive mode. Let's protect our water bodies, and very vigorously. So
we now take our first set of commercials. Do stay with us as we have more interesting stories lined up for you.
To create a positive difference in people's lives, one must first understand the way people live. At Savenda, we're here for our community, our partners, and our future, as a nation and as a continent.
Back in 1997, we decided we were going to create this family journey into a bigger opportunity, and created a business called Savenda, which meant save nations to develop Africa.
It's always important to give back to the people. The government cannot do everything, but as business entities, we'll be able to reach a lot of people.
From our humble beginnings in the telecoms and mining sectors to our work in energy and development projects, we know how important it is to be true to our roots.
Our services have to be diversified so that we don't depend on one income stream. Back in the village, I was growing up hunting and doing everything that a village boy would like to do. When you're hunting, you don't depend on one trap, for example. You have to have many traps. So those survival skills brought into the business created opportunities that we learned from a young age that you can't survive with just one product. Savenda Group involves Savenda Management, which is a consulting, Savenda Express, which is a corporate branding company, Savenda Electric, which is a manufacturer of energy saving bulbs, Savenda General Insurance, which is a general insurance company, Savenda Fresh Produce, Cyber Africa, which is a center for just dealing with cyber security.
Now, Savenda is combining local knowledge with international expertise. It's time to be a part of Zambia's rising success and Africa's exciting future.
We are a gateway into Africa, and now we are praying with global companies who are coming to Zambia for opportunities and to look for companies that are homegrown, and we are proud to be one of those.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We continue with the news. Mpulungu Constituency Member of Parliament Freedom Sikazwe says people in his constituency have positively responded to the call for diversification by government. Mr. Sikazwe, who is also Presidential Affairs Minister, says his constituents have diversified from the usual maize growing to cassava and millet growing. Mr. Sikazwe says government has taken a deliberate policy to encourage farmers across the country to grow resilient crops which can withstand any weather conditions in the advent of climate change. According to him, other cash crops such as cassava have proven to be more profitable more than the traditional maize which people are used to. Mr. Sikazwe has also reported that his constituency has received 95% of farming inputs for the 2020-2021 farming season.
We have gotten almost 95% of the inputs that are required, except for the delay in terms of the seed. The seed that was transported to the constituents was somehow... The beauty about Mpulungu is that it's now that people now are turning into agriculture, because Mpulungu used to be a fishing town. After that, because of the depletion of the fish in the lake, everyone has moved to the plateau, because Mpulungu consists of two levels. There's the plateau and the valley. So the people in the valley used to depend on fishing. Now, when you go there, you find 3/4 of the people from the valley are also going on the plateau. Especially, that's why we've been forced as a government to work on the plateau. I can report that we have taken good roads there, we've taken electricity there, there are towers there, the clinics are there. So with that, it's giving an impetus to people to move to the plateau, where there is plenty of land for them to do the farming. So, because that's the first time a lot of people now are engaged in farming there, we are encouraging them not to specifically go for maize. And that has been the danger, where people think farming is all about maize. But they are growing sorghum, they are growing sorghum, they are growing millet, because we are able to produce millet on the plateau. Millet, the beauty about millet, they have a lot of market. And that's another thing that has been forcing people to just go for maize, because they thought that is the only thing that has got the market. The coming in of other industries where they are buying, which are buying cassava, has also given the impetus to people to grow cassava. And what I'm being told is that cassava is even more profitable than maize. So with that, with the market availability.
And moving on in the news, government has in the 2021 national budget allocated 598.1 million for the 2021 general elections. Stakeholders have, however, questioned the mega allocation towards a big event such as general elections. We now join Gears Initiative Executive Director McDonald Chipenzi, who is also former FODEP Executive Director, to discuss this issue. Mr. Chipenzi, good evening. We have about only 3 to 4 minutes. So here are some of the questions we have for you. Firstly, your quick reaction to the budget allocation for the 2021 general elections. Mr. Chipenzi, are you with us? We will be getting back to Mr. Chipenzi shortly, but moving on in the news, the authentic advocacy for justice and democracy has urged electoral stakeholders to respect institutions of governance put in place. Institution Public Relations Officer Samuel Banda notes with concern the continued discrediting of institutions of governance by some people. Mr. Banda says such acts contribute to the eroding of confidence in public institutions in the eyes of the ordinary citizens. Mr. Banda's call comes in the wake of continued opposition on the ongoing pre-online voter registration, which some groupings are not comfortable with. He says some people must conform to emerging trends such as technology and utilize it in the best interest of the country, as opposed to always opposing everything new.
I would like to urge political stakeholders, Dr. Nevas Mumba, Dr. Kamwili, and other stakeholders to respect state institutions that have been given a mandate to manage our electoral process. Institutions like Electoral Commission of Zambia are mandated to administer our elections, and they are independent government bodies. Hence, they need high level of respect. Online voters registration is going to be a norm world over, and we appreciate the ECZ to introduce it to Zambia, knowing that we are living in the digital world important that Zambian citizens embrace this technology. Also like to advise the Electoral Commission of Zambia to consider educating the Zambian people more on the process of online voters registration, so that the Zambian citizens can be clear on the process. We advise all the political stakeholders to avoid politicizing this process. The ECZ also should consider the people in the rural setups, knowing that they don't have the technological facilities to register online.
We now get back to our previous story, where government has in the 2021 national budget allocated 598.1 million for the 2021 general elections. Stakeholders have, however, questioned the mega allocation towards a big event such as general elections. We now have on the line Gears Initiative Executive Director McDonald Chipenzi, who is also former FODEP Executive Director, to discuss this issue. Mr. Chipenzi, good evening. Good evening, Mr. Chipenzi. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, that's good to know. We only have approximately 3 to 4 minutes. Firstly, your quick reaction to the budget allocation for the 2021 general elections.
It is a joke. The joke of the year, the joke of the century. There's no way it can allocate 585.1 billion for an election, a general election, for that matter, which will have the presidential, parliamentary, local government, mayoral, and so on and so forth. And to allocate that amount is basically to undermine the role and the autonomy, independence, and the efficiency of the Electoral Commission of Zambia. I mind you that the Commission, just for voter registration, they were asking 8 billion kwacha, 800 million kwacha. And now that 5.1 is actually a drop in the ocean towards the legislative advantage.
Okay. Then how do you think this will affect the preparations for this event?
Definitely the preparation for the 2021 election that was affected. And you can see that the voter registration, one of the issues from investigation, that is the funds were released less. And that was just half of it. You recall, the chief executive officer was complaining that only half of the money requested was released last year. That problem was something there. And that's why they set up those days for voters. So maybe they are hoping that the other half will come before the registration is done. So already you can see that you are going the rainy season and the registration has not started, and the number of activities, even doctor education, has not started. So that will affect the preparation for 2021.
As an electoral expert, how would you describe the ongoing mobile issuance of NRCs?
Well, I think it's a disaster. It's a disaster in the sense that there are very few, one is not target that has been put against the online registration. Two, the online registration is not based on itself. If you register under the online, it doesn't mean that you get your card. You still have to go back to queue for your portrait and also for the 10 fingerprints that are needed. So it's a duplicate effort, and that's a step to drive what you can make investment. We can go into full drive for the online. But in this case, I think it's not fair. We need to rather than just preparing for the next election.
Mr. Chipenzi would like to thank you for your time. Have a good evening.
Thank you so very much. We want to call the government to support the Electoral Commission of Zambia if they don't want men to be loved for them, and then what I take attack, they need to give them enough resources to carry out activities to get it to the rest of them.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, moving on in the news. Cyber criminals in Zambia continue taking advantage of increase in online financial transaction services amidst the outbreak of the coronavirus. A digital payment service provider, Kazang, has taken a proactive approach to curtail fraudulent activities on its platform. According to the Zambia police, unsuspecting members of the public have been conned out of a lot of money. In the past recent weeks, the police recorded at least 56 incidents of theft involving thousands of kwacha from banks. Stakeholders in the financial sector have been expressing concern that digital fraud has the potential to lead to loss of public confidence in the local mobile money market if the problem is not dealt with effectively. Kazang National Sales Manager Bradley Chingombe says they have installed an in-house security system that detects fraudulent activities.
There are two ways we're working around it. One of them is obviously adhering to the Bank of Zambia regulations that stipulate that we put in security measures to prevent fraudulent activities from happening, and therefore we are working alongside the Bank of Zambia and the security systems ensuring that we try and prevent fraudulent activities from happening. And secondly, Kazang has installed an in-house security system that prevents what we call gaming. Gaming is a system where people try to fraudulently make money by beating the system, and also we built in a system that can actually pick up when fraudulent activities are about to happen. So we are more on the preventive side, we are more proactive than reactive.
The Islamic Supreme Council of Zambia has expressed concern at how much politics have infiltrated economic and social opportunities in the country. Council President Suzio Zimba explains that under the current regime, for one to get a government contract, he has to be an affiliate of the ruling party. Mr. Zimba has alleged that even in the infrastructure sector, where foreign contractors are compelled to collect 20% of local contractors, most beneficiaries are aligned to the ruling Patriotic Front. Speaking to Camnet TV News, he says in a democratic state like Zambia, such tendencies must be discouraged, further stating that citizens' empowerment must go beyond one's political orientation. Mr. Zimba explains that in a democratic state, people need to differ based on political ideologies as opposed to exhibiting hatred towards one another.
We are a society that does not value thought. What I mean is we think differently, and we should embrace each other because we think differently. Now, when our President Frederick Chiluba, came into power, that was the birth of multi-party politics, meaning that we opened the way for more political parties to be formed, but we also allowed others to trade, but others to belong to other political parties. But today, if you are not in PF, you can't even get an order. That's a fact. Even the 20% they are talking about, it's for the cadres. Go, I mean, the figures are there, the records are there. Those that are getting the 20% contracts are all PF. So you have to be PF to get an order. It means that people have not accepted the multi-party politics. But in a situation where we accept the multi-party politics, then...
We now take a break, but still to come is international and sports news. Don't go away.
Stay home, stay safe. Times have changed. With the advent of the coronavirus, Lusaka Water Supply and Sanitation Company would like to advise its esteemed customers to avoid visiting crowded places. You don't have to move to pay your water bill. You can do it in the convenience of your home. You can pay your water bills through Zanaco Zapit, Stanbic Bank, Standard Chartered Bank, and FNB. You can also use Airtel, MTN, and Zamtel Kwacha mobile money transfer services. For any inquiries to report a fault, please contact our customer service on +260 211 251 571, +260 975 618 618, and toll-free line 5957, Zamtel only. You can also simply email customerservice@lwsc.com. This public announcement is brought to you by the Lusaka Water Supply and Sanitation Company. Water is life. Sanitation is health.
Are you a filmmaker? Well, you are exactly what we are looking for.
Camnet TV is calling on local filmmakers. For more details,
You can visit our headquarters in Ibex Hill, next to Hilltop Hospital.
contact us on
0962 444 726. Camnet TV.
not just another channel.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We continue with the news. At least 11 people have been killed in northeastern Nigeria in an attack on a security convoy that was taking people displaced by an armed uprising back to their homes, police and security sources said. The ISIS group, to which a breakaway fraction of Nigerian armed group Boko Haram pledged allegiance in 2016, said on its Amak website that 30 police officers and soldiers were killed in an attack on Friday on a road leading to the strategic fishing town of Baga in Borno State. In a statement on Saturday, Borno State Police said 8 police officers and 3 members of a government-approved militia were killed and 13 people were wounded in an attack about noon on Friday. Armed groups have forced more than 2 million people to flee their homes since 2009, when Boko Haram began an armed uprising amid creating a state adhering to a strict interpretation of Islamic law. Some 30,000 people have been killed in the conflict. And moving on in sports news. The 3-day Bearing Man Group BMG Golf Invitational Tournament has come to an end. The event, which was held in Chilanga, attracted golfers from across the country. The event has also unveiled new talent in the young golfers who participated in the tournament. The golf tournament also solidified the presence of the older and experienced golfers.
Another milestone for Zambian Golf and the Professional Golfers Association, as this week saw golfers from far and wide assemble to take part in the BMG Invitational at the Chilanga Golf Club, which is only one of many tournaments slated for this year's calendar.
Oh, well done, Isaac.
The tournament brought forth young talent to the further delight of the association. Amateurs too had their share of the cake as they competed head-to-head to secure their part of the top spot. The weight of the game, however, fell on the top 2 contenders in the professional category, which saw Patrick Mwendapole finish second after shooting on the par 70 course, a 72, 73, 75 for a total of 220, securing the second position, while Madaliso Mutia finished all 3 rounds on a 5 over par total after shooting a 75, 67, 71 respectively for a total of 215.
Yo.
That was close yet.
Respect, attitude, dedication, excellence, and punctuality. And then I'll add one, accurate scoring. If you follow Patrick and Madaliso and how those 2 gentlemen have played golf their whole lives, that is what we want to aspire to as the Professional Golfers Association of Zambia. So to those guys for chasing each other down up to the 18th, well played. And thank you very much for what you guys do for Zambian golf. Thank you.
just want to say thank you very much to all the sponsors that made it possible for us to have this event this week. And I just want to thank everyone on the PGZ committee who've made it possible, to work tirelessly to make it happen. And to all the winners, well done. Keep working hard on your game. To those that haven't, and I'm deeply humbled to have won again. I didn't expect it. No, I'm joking. No, I'm very humbled. Thank you very much. And Chilanga Golf Club, I haven't been here in the last it took me over 20 years to come back and play here. And it's given the time of year and the conditions were phenomenal. Thank you very much for having us. And BMG.
Michael Chiluba reporting for Camnet TV Sports News in Chilanga.
That sports item brings us to the end of the news, but a recap of the headlines. Police in MWINILUNGA shoot dead a 17-year-old boy. Home Affairs Minister clarifies on the online voter registration. PF youths unsettled by MUMBA'S rigging statement. In international news, several killed in an attack on security convoy in northeast Nigeria. And in sports news, BMG-sponsored golf tournament unveils new talent. The Camnet verse of the day is coming from the book of Luke 8 verse 13, and it reads, "The seed on the rock are they that, when they hear, receive the word with joy, but they that have no root, they for a while believe, and in time of temptation fall away." On behalf of the entire news production crew and myself, Liseli Kanyanga, thank you so much for watching. God bless.